Coachella Valley, and welcome to the comeback with the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce. Man, it has been a long year and a half, but it's been a pleasure to bring you this show and this series and just talk about local businesses, talk to local business owners, talk to nonprofit organizations that are offering so much. And right now, for this month, we've really been focused on wellness, health and wellness, taking care of yourselves and each other. There have been a lot of folks who, it's just have been talking about this. It's been something that's been top of mind for so many. And we've been getting a lot of questions at the Chamber of Commerce also about all kinds of health, wellness, lifestyle questions. And so we wanted to bring two special guests on today. I can already see a bunch of folks watching. Thank you so much. Please, if you're watching, let us know what city you're watching from. Say hello, don't be shy. And if you have any questions, I'll be sure to ask our guests as well. But for now, let's bring in Randy Foulds. I'm sure many of you know him. I've known him in the community for a long time. Randy, you are owner of Foulds Health Insurance Company. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hey, Katie, good to see you. And hello, everybody. Yes, I've been around too long.
Yeah, untrue. But tell us a little bit about first the agency before we dive into.
Sure.
You're going to share information about a really cool app that you have that I know everyone's going to want to stick around for. But tell us about the agency.
Okay, well, first, we do health insurance only. We don't do other types of insurance. A lot of agents like to do everything, property and casualty, home and auto, and life insurance. We don't even do life insurance. We only do health insurance because we saw that is such a huge need as people are leaving employment, leaving group coverage, which they're all used to, and then having to go get health insurance on their own, or our specialty is when people are ready to retire and they're going into Medicare. We help you get through the whole Medicare enrollment mess, frankly. So it's not easy if you don't have somebody navigating. And one thing I love is that we don't charge anybody anything. So, it's why not,
Yeah, and you've been doing this for some time. I just know that you've helped so many folks through the process. There's no doubt it's confusing. There are lots of parts and pieces. So it's really great that you take the time to go through all of it with them. But let's jump into this app you have. You and I have talked a little bit about how there are apps like Noom out there that are very popular. You have one that's even better. Share a little bit.
Well, I like it because it's free. And free is always good. So I'm a chronic, dive into some kind of diet or exercise and give up in 6 weeks. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. And so I've got, my phone is full of apps of all the different types of, one that was tracking my. Am I still there? There we go. Tracking my meals and macros, tracking how many steps you take and all of that stuff. And so then, Noom started advertising very heavily and I was like, okay, I'm going to give that a try. It was actually pretty good because it compiled a lot of stuff into one, but it's a monthly subscription and I'm not great about canceling monthly subscriptions when I'm not using them anymore. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I got an email from HealthNet, which was my health insurance. And it said, sign up for OMADA, this great new app that is basically the way they described it. They didn't say it's just like Noom, but it was just like Noom. And see if we can cover this as a fully covered benefit of your health insurance. I thought, well, that's pretty cool. So I clicked on the link, checked it all out with HealthNet, and sure enough, if you, in their terms, are an at risk for high blood pressure, at risk for heart disease, at risk for type 2 diabetes, anything that they considered at risk, then OMADA submits to your health insurer the coverage request. The health insurer says, yes, this is a covered benefit, and you're in. So the next thing I know, OMADA sent me a scale. And I was like, well, what, a $20 scale? No, it's really cool. It's actually an internet connected scale. You weigh in every morning. your weight is automatically transmitted to your account, and your health coach and your team are all there to help you. Your coach sees your weight, sees what your progress is. Wow. And just like Noom, you get tips, every day on what you're supposed to be doing, tracking your food, tracking your movements, advice on new things to try. And it takes it pretty easy. Like in the first week, it just basically says, keep moving and keep weighing yourself. Let's just get you under that habit.
Sure.
Which was, I thought was great. But what I love is it's not inundating me with emails. I'm not getting 20 emails a day from these guys. Right. I'm not getting a ton of notices on my phone. It's just reminding me every day to weigh in, check in with what the tips are for today, and then go on with your day.
Nice. And can you put goals in there? Are there any kind of goal setting that you can do?
Absolutely.
That's great.
And that's all extra that you don't pay for. So you don't pay anything extra for any of these things, and you do it as much or as little as you want. And actually, when I first signed up, it said, how interested are you in working with a coach? And I said, nah, no, I don't want that. I'll do it myself. And I got one message from them that just said, if you change your mind, she's here, here's her information, and here's the person that would be coaching you. And you would be part of this small group of 12 people who kind of all motivate each other. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. Yeah. So I did. And that's actually been, for someone who's so resistant to that kind of stuff, that actually worked out very, very well.
So how long have you been using it?
Well, I've been doing it for about 3 weeks now. Okay. And I at first was, I'm hesitant about it. And I thought, well, I'll weigh in and see how that's working. But little things like I was putting in my food and I said, I noticed that it's not tracking macros. I'm used to it tracking macros. So I sent a message to my coach and she said, if you want to, she said, I'll look at this and send you an analysis of your macros every week. She said, but that's really not important right now. She said, right now, what we're working on is building the right habits. And I thought, well, you know what? Since I failed every other time, why don't I listen to somebody instead of just saying, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it my way. So I've been really impressed with the feedback from them. So again, it's, you can look it up. It's OMADA is the name, OMADA. They will ask you for your health insurance information, and they will submit to your health insurance for it to become a covered benefit or not. And you don't have to do anything else. You just fill out the form online. They take care of it. The next thing I knew, I got a notice that said your scale is on the way. So
wow. Cool. So after 3 weeks, how are you feeling?
Actually, pretty good. I'm a terrible eater. I mean, I don't eat when I should, and I overeat when I'm not. When I do have a meal, I overeat and all that. And again, the coach said, that's okay. Don't eat when you're. And she said, so don't eat when you're not hungry. And when you are going to have that meal, just try a little bit of portion control. And I said, my wife's Italian. We don't have portion control. So she piles everything on the plate and you're expected to eat it all. And she said, no, well, just tell her that from now on, you want to go over and put your own plate together. Because, that's what Italians do. They say, let me make you a plate. So now she's much better at that. And that's really the only big change I've made is weighing in every morning, eating a smaller portion for the meals I do eat, and don't eat because you think because you're bored, basically. You eat because you're bored.
Sure.
Find something else to do. Well,
yep. I love it. Well, share with us again. I have the information on the screen. If you're looking to, get a hold of Randy, his number's there, his website is there. And as you can tell, he's a great friend of the community because he's found this great app and is filling us in on it because I've used Noom and I want to say it wasn't $200, but it might have been $170, something like that. It's pretty pricey. So to know that there's something out there that is no cost is
Yep.
pretty great. So thanks for bringing that to us. And I know this is your industry. You've been close to it for a long time. Tell us about some of the other offerings that you have.
Sure.
If someone's interested.
Yeah, well, one of the big things right now is, Covered California has got a big push on for people to make sure that you're enrolled. If you didn't qualify for Covered California before, there's a chance you might now, because there's been a lot of changes in the last 3 to 4 months. One of them, the American Rescue Plan, changed everything as far as health insurance for people under age 65. If you've ever collected unemployment in the last 12 months, you are now going to qualify for much more of a premium assistance on your Covered California premium. And the policies are now much more affordable. So even for people who have looked in the last couple of years and said, I can't afford that, I can't do that, chances are now it's going to be much more affordable. So we're glad to help people walk through Covered California. If you have an account, you need to update it, make sure it stays updated. And if you haven't had an account, to go ahead and get enrolled and try.
Excellent. Anything else you want to leave our viewers with?
That and Medicare. Just when you're ready to go into Medicare, just don't just enroll in the last plan that you heard of, and don't listen to those commercials with Joe Namath on TV. Those are the terrible. Joe Namath is no Medicare expert.
And this is Randy telling you like it is today. Well, thank you so much for being on and just sharing, who you are and what you do with us. I know you've been in this industry a long time, and I do consider you the expert.
Thank you.
So we appreciate having you on today. Promise to come back and share more, especially if there are other health-related topics that come up that the folks out there should know about. We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely. You got it.
All right, my friend.
Katie.
We'll look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
And we still have one more guest coming, so be sure to stay tuned. Randy's information is up on the screen. This series was really meant to introduce you to our local businesses. Small local businesses are the heartbeat of America. And you can tell by Randy how much time and energy and effort he has put into his industry. He is the expert. Reach out to him and say hello. And he's a great guy. You'll see him around town and at chamber events as well, which also makes it a lot of fun. Our next guest is Renee Lynn with Reformation Body Solutions. So let's bring in Renee and welcome. Good to see you today.
Nice to see you too, Katie, and thank you so much for having me and highlighting our health business. I so appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. And you're a new chamber member. You come in with a lot of energy and excitement. I mean, the color behind you is fitting because that just says you all over it. But tell us a little bit about Reformation Body Solutions.
Well, about 10 years ago, I thought, it's time for me to make some changes. And I went into a office and I had a coach and she helped me and we had fancy scales and I could see my body fat going down, which, a lot of times we get on that scale and it's not moving, but actually we're losing body fat. And so it was so refreshing to go someplace where I had a coach that really was invested in my wellness. And so I decided that was going to be my next career. And I have enjoyed so much working with clients. I've worked with over 1,000 clients, mostly ladies. I do have some great men I've worked with, but I would say about 80% of my clientele is ladies between the ages of 40 and 70, and working on all different kinds of things. So we help you with your wellness from the inside out. There's no one size fits all. And so that's something that I love to work with. It's like a puzzle.
Right. Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about if someone goes to your website, which it's on the screen right now. If you're watching, phone numbers there where you can reach Renee, talk about your health goals. But also the website is there. You've got a store in Palm Desert, but tell us a little bit about what we'd find on the website and in your store.
Well, one of the things that the pandemic did for us is really switched us to a virtual model. We have clinics both in Northern and Southern California. And so I was stationed up north, and my mom was down here, and she was turning 79 when the pandemic hit. And so we sent her home, and I came down here and lived at our home here in La Quinta, and then started helping people online. And what I found was there was just a lot of people that still needed that coaching piece, but they felt more comfortable doing it from the comfort of their own home. Mm-hmm. And so when you go on our website, you can choose a consultation. It's free of charge. We meet. I'm going to find out about you. You're going to find out about me, and we're going to decide if it's a fit. If it's something where I know that I can't help somebody, I'm always going to give recommendations and try to help them find what's right for them. So our website is filled with a lot of, we've got a recipe guide on there. We have a store for nutritional supplements. We have a store for all of our products. And we've got all kinds of testimonials too.
And people can sign up for the newsletter. So I did that today. I was investigating, checking it all out. And you and I have talked, off screen about also, if people are out there who might have autoimmune issues, that's something they can call and you can kind of talk through with them as well. So that's great for people to know. And as a side note, for people who are out there maybe watching who maybe didn't have the healthiest year because it was so stressful. People were at home. We've heard about, overeating and over drinking and just not living the healthiest life. And no one's to blame here because let's face it, it's been a really hard year. What would you say to someone who's just looking for like that jump start or that resetting their system?
Well, I'll tell you, I talked to 3 people today. One of them was one of my past clients. 2 were new people that were looking for a different way. And each person, had their own story with the pandemic. And for me, it's all about just getting back refocused and understanding that you don't have to be all in or all out. And finding that balance where, so you had something that maybe might not have been on your plan for that day. Don't wreck the rest of the day with bad choices. Just forgive yourself, move on, have a healthy meal for dinner, and keep going. So if we do, 6 steps forward and 2 steps backwards, we're still 4 steps ahead. So, I really encourage people to take a look, bring forward some of the habits that they don't want, and find different ways to deal with those habits. So a lot of things that happened during the pandemic were either a lot of sitting and having cocktails or a lot of just mindless snacking, anxiety snacking. Yep. And those are all things that we can put away. We can stop them. It's just, finding that point where you just go, okay, enough's enough. Having a coach is really an important piece. I do believe that.
And tell me more about that. What does to you, because you're in the role, but you've also seen the successes happen. How does a coach really help someone through their transition or through their lifestyle change or that process?
So every week, we're going to meet for about 20 to 30 minutes. And what I like to work on is, okay, so let's take a look at how we got here. What do you think the things were that, really need to be changed? And really taking a look at kind of some patterns that may have been from, when you were 8 years old or 10 years old or 12 years old. And taking a look at how to consciously make different choices this time around and find a lifestyle that will work for you. So that's where we take your favorite recipes and we're going to find a healthier way to make them. You're still going to have your favorite flavors. You're going to find things that you can do for the rest of your life, because that's the key. If we're always, we live in the little box for a while, and then we're all out and we gain all the weight back and we feel bad about ourselves, and then we start depriving ourselves, and then we start binging, and then we start depriving and binging, and it becomes a cycle. And so, we've got to get more healthy thoughts on food. There's no bad food.
Right.
Just
Right.
changing the way we really think about our eating habits.
And I love that you said it's not all or nothing. You don't have to be 100%, in and exercising it, and it can be a balance. And I think that's what you bring. Even just your energy, you bring a lot of balance. And so that's very calming too. Tell me a little bit about what you know about habits. So if someone really is in, kind of a rut of, making bad habits, maybe some tips for people out there on how to change them, but also when does a habit just become the norm?
Well, a habit is the norm. And, it takes us 21 days to
21.
switch a habit, but it takes a minimum of 90 days to make it into a lifestyle. So I think it's a lot longer than that. I really, truly believe it's 6 months to a year. And I'll tell you, I was a classic overeater. I've been 200 pounds 3 times in my life. And so I've lost 65 pounds 3 different times. Now, 2 of them were pregnancies, but I didn't have to lose, I didn't have to gain all that weight back. So the first time around, when I went on a little plan, it was called MetaFast back in those days, and I drank 4 shakes a day. By the time I lost 30 pounds, I had absolutely no metabolism left. So I really had to dig deep to understand how my metabolism worked. And so I did little things like, first I started with not eating the whole basket of bread. And then I started with, I'll have olive oil instead of butter. And then I went to, I really don't need that bread before dinner. And, I would eat fast. And so I found that if I would just put my fork down in between every bite, I ate less. And if I would order an appetizer instead of an entree, I ate less. I didn't necessarily need to eat soup, salad, appetizer, dinner, dessert.
Right.
So
those are great tips. I mean, all of those are really great. What I love about them is they're small things that people can do today, right?
Totally.
And so I love the fact that having a coach to help you with small things, but it's a partnership throughout the journey itself.
Totally a partnership. I always tell people, do me a favor. When we decide to work together, promise me you won't just not show up. If you have a week that you're not okay with, please show up. Let's work through the week. And then when we get to goal, let's not break up with each other. Let's keep going, because that's how we're going to transition into full maintenance, where you now take in, we're now in the real world, right? I was the wild west. You can have anything now. So how are we going to make those choices? And working together on that.
Well, Renee, I just thank you so much. You've got a ton of fans. I mean, I'm seeing, hi, Renee, hi, Katie. And someone else said, every time I go out to eat with Renee, I learn something new. So I know you've got, like Randy, just a great reputation. So proud to be able to work with chamber members like both of you, help you within the community, because I think you do really important things. When our community is healthier, we all do better. I just think the world of both of you. So thank you for being on today and sharing a little bit more. And I'll just pop on your phone number one more time for people. If you're out there watching and you're like me, you're kind of looking for a reset. It's been a long, hard year and a half. Reach out to Renee, just talk to her. I think you're going to you already know that you love her. She's amazing, wealth of knowledge, but she's also a really great person and friend. Check out the website as well. Sign up for the newsletter. And anything else that you want to leave the watchers with today?
I always say that I meet people on sometimes like the worst day of their life. just know that your coach is your friend. There's no judgment. It's a safe place to share not only, just where you're at now, but, how someone that can help you get off of your medications and start feeling better, get your energy back, take a look at the things that are underlying the root cause of things. It's not always food. So, it's finding those things too.
And I'm just going to add, sometimes just starting is the hardest part. Sometimes just that first day is the hardest part. And from there, you have a plan. And so it becomes easy to follow a plan. But anyhow, thank you so much. I know we could just talk forever about health and wellness. I know it's your jam. Thank you for joining us today. I do look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, Katie. I loved meeting you the first time I met you, and that's what made me join the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce. I really felt like your support to the community is amazing. And even though we're located in Palm Desert, I wanted to be a part of your chamber. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your kind words. I do look forward to seeing you soon, my friend. Be well.
All right. Bye.
And thanks so much for joining us on our Wellness Wednesday. It is amazing that we are open right now. It's also incredible that we're open because the health of our community has improved to bring us to this point. And I want to thank every single business that's out there, every frontline worker, all of our residents. It took a lot of hard work to get where we are today. And I just want to encourage you all to continue to be patient. There's still a workforce issue. We're still coming out of this. There's still some uncertainty. But, if we can give each other some grace, remain kind, we can get through this together and we can continue towards recovery. Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce is just working so hard on the comeback for this community. If I can help you professionally, if I can help your business, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's what your Chamber of Commerce is here for. Be well, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.